I sent one of my baby cousins a happy birthday message, and he responded, "Thank you, of course, because we are a respectful and polite family. We're not rude here." But more importantly, he shared that he had bought his first house. And I was super excited with him, super excited for him, excuse me. And he asked that when I'm back in town, we hang out so we can talk through how he can best set up his property so it can make the most money for him. And he specifically, wanted to chat with me because he purchased a house that makes income for him from day one, right? Specifically bought a 4-family house. And he knows that I'm all for not just buying property, but buying property that's actually going to make your life better as soon as you buy it. And so I didn't know that he was looking into buying his first house, right? And if I had known that he was doing that, I would have shared with him like the one thing that I absolutely wish I had done differently when I bought my first house. My first house was also a multi-family house, it was a 3-family house, but whether you are looking to buy a single family house or a multi-family house, it doesn't really matter. Like this one thing is absolutely going to affect your options in future later if you don't know about it. So, of course, there are many small things that I would have done differently, but those are things that really wouldn't make a big difference in terms of the outcome. However, like if I had saved my money differently, it would make a huge difference in terms of having access to that money and having additional benefits besides just having the money itself. Now, like most people, and like my cousin did, I did what's normal. Like I did what I knew, right, which was to save my money in the bank. And I'm gonna say conservatively, like the amount I needed was around $22,000 up front. There's extra funds that I used after the fact, but let's say conservatively, I needed $22,000 to purchase my house. And that whole $22,000 was saved in the bank, right? And you're probably thinking, okay, well, where would I save money for my house or to buy my house if not in a bank? And unfortunately, when I bought my second house, I did the same thing and I also saved my money in a bank. What I was not aware of that I learned as I was getting my license to be a life insurance broker, what I learned is that banks do not keep their money like on the books, right? They actually take the money that you put in the bank and they loan it out. Of course, we know that, but they also put the money in specially designed, custom designed life insurance policies. And so when I learned about that, I was like, okay, like, why do they do that? Like for me, I always want to ask the question why. Like I don't get upset about why something is happening that I think is like not okay. I want to understand the why behind it, right? So that maybe it's something that I can do myself, possibly. And so one of the big reasons, which is like actually really smart, if you have been in America for a little bit, I'm an immigrant, so I know people that have not been here for a long time. But if you have been here for a long time, or you are aware that the one thing that the IRS is going to make sure that they do is any single cent that you make, they are going to tax it. So whether you make money from interest in the bank, or you make money from your job, or you make money from your side hustle, or you make money from selling crypto, they don't care. Like however you make your money, the IRS wants a cut of that. They are going to tax it. But like the one place the IRS cannot touch if you do things the right way is in life insurance policies. And so if you have, like the banks and many other big corporations, if you have one of these custom designed life insurance policies that allow you to put money in it and allow you to use it like a savings vehicle, what that means is no matter how much money you make from interest in that policy, the IRS is not going to tax you. And because of the way that these policies are set up, they're not set up only so that like money is given out to your beneficiary when you pass away. They're set up so that you can actually take money out of those policies while you are alive, right? So yes, you have the life insurance and your money is gaining interest, but also when you take money out of that policy correctly, as your money is growing, like the money is not going to be taxed, right? So that's like one benefit for the banks, which I mean, I don't like paying taxes, and so I mean that's a plus for me. But like the bigger benefit, for me at least, when it comes to purchasing property, is if you when you have your money in one of these policies, right? Like I said, you are able to take money out from your own policy while you're alive. So when you take that money out, the way that these policies work is that even though you actually get access to your cash without credit checks, without applications, like you ask for your money and it's in your bank and then within 2 or 3 days, when you access your money, they do not actually take it off their books, right? So if you have 100K that you have access to that you can take out, and you take out that 100K, you have the money in your account that you can use to do whatever with, right? To go purchase your property. But in the policy, you are still going to be getting interest on that money as if your money didn't leave, right? So what that means is you can have your money out buying your property, right? And that's amazing. And you're also going to get the equity from that property, gaining value over time. But also, you are going to have your money in that insurance policy continuing to be getting interest. So essentially, you get to use your money while it is also still getting interest in this policy. And so, alternatively, if you do things the normal way, right, like I did because I didn't know, like my cousin did because he didn't talk to me, if you do things the normal way, right? So for me, that $22,000 that I used for my house, once I took it out of the bank, the balance was zero in the bank, right? And so no interest is getting gained, period, right? I've had my house for a long time, right? So if I had put that money, right, into a policy instead, we're gonna keep it really, really simple, right? I'm gonna oversimplify this, right? But there's a rule called the rule of 72, right? Which is a way to estimate how much money you're going to make based on a certain compound interest rate. So if we conservatively say that I would have made 7% interest like in that policy, right? Then that would mean that that $22,000 would have doubled in 10 years. And it's been more than 10 years since I've had my house. So what that means is by now I would have at least $44,000 in that account that is gaining interest, right? 44,000 plus, but it's more than 10 years. However, right, because I did the normal thing and I just put my money in the bank, when I took it out, there was zero. So I got zero. I got nothing, right? Of course, I mean, I have something, I still have the equity in the house. However, if I want to access that equity in the house, I have to rely on the bank, right? I have to rely on them saying yes to me. They have to look at my credit, look at my income, look at my debt to income ratio and decide, okay, yes, we want to give you this money. However, if I was pulling money from my insurance policy, then there's no checks. They don't check anything. They just check, is your policy up to date? Do you have funds you're able to pull out? Great. Here's your money in 2 to 3 days. And so if you are thinking about buying your first or your next property, my question to you is, would you rather have your money that you're going to use to buy that house work for you in your house and also continue to get interest? Or do you want it where once you take it out of the bank, it's gone and it's gone for good? And by the way, if you look up your bank to see how much money that they have in life insurance policies and ask yourself, well, if they are taking my money and putting it into a policy, why can't I do that for myself? Now, there are a few nuances on how to make this work and when it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for everybody. And so I'm actually hosting a web class in the near future to walk you through how you can use life insurance to buy your first or your next house, and the things that you want to make sure are in place to make it make sense for you to do it, or when it doesn't make sense to do it at all. Now, the big caveat is that because this is life insurance, you do have to qualify. Not everybody is able to get these types of policies. So in this video, I walk you through the core things that you want to have in place in order for you to qualify. And I will see you in that video, and hopefully I'll see you on the web class as well.